you can choose your reality. And I think when we see people who are like so real, we think we have to match their realness. You don't. You choose what level of reality you want people to have access to. Like, I live in New York. I have 2 kids. It is hella expensive here. There are plenty of things I do that are not glamorous. Like, I go to the laundromat. Are you going to get that in my stories? No, but you are going to get this photo of my kids on a carousel in Paris. Yes, because that is the reality I'm going to put out there. If you know me in real life, you'll see me at the laundromat. But like, my real life is for my real friends and like people who don't actually know me. You get this fake version, and it's not even fake because it's real. It's just incomplete.
Hi, and welcome to Handbag Designer 101, the podcast with your host, Emily Blumenthal, handbag industry expert and the handbag fairy godmother. Each week, we uncover the stories behind the handbags we love, from the iconic brands and top designers to the creativity, craftsmanship, and culture that define the handbag world. Whether you're a designer, collector, or simply passionate about handbags, this is your front row seat to it all. Welcome, Brittany Hennessy, back to Handbag Designer 101, the podcast. Brittany Hennessy, VP, head, something really important at Sprout Social. I don't even know. You're important. You're in charge. I don't know. Innovator, pave maker, waver, overall delight. Welcome, Brittany.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be back. You're one of my favorite podcasts. So, and the only one that I've actually like listened to my episode. I never listened to them, but I like you. So I listen to it.
I like you too. I like me also. I don't like how I sound, but I always enjoy how other people sound.
Yes. This is why I have the audio. People like, have you heard your audiobook? And I'm like, why would I do that to myself? No way.
No way. No. I've also heard myself accidentally recording myself yelling at my kids. And all I kept thinking about is, wow, I have a New Jersey accent. I didn't know it was still there. You know, like that's all I heard.
It's light.
Yeah, it's Diet Jersey. It still shows up though. I know when I start speaking to one friend of mine in particular, I lose the ing on all my words. So it's good. I'm kind of proud of that. It's nice. What is going on in the world of social? And, you know, not to lay this all on you, but I'm going to. Like, it's funny. So I have guest speakers at 12 of my 15 weeks of my entrepreneurship class at FIT. And the overarching vibe of influencers is that at this point, be much more judicious when you're trying to find someone to work with your brand, because the landscape has evolved, changed, grown. Thoughts, go.
So it's a little bit of a mess right now. It's a little bit of a mess because I think 2025 was the first post-pandemic year of social.
Yes, 100%. Yes, so I agree.
This is like 2026 will even out. We'll probably get some sense of normalcy, but 2025 was really, people needed to do the work of what are we keeping from the pandemic era and what are we throwing out? And almost no one did that work. And so also because it's impossible at this point. So when you think about social influencer as a creator or as somebody who consumes content, there was a hierarchy. It was like email lists, top of the hierarchy. Like, oh, I'm giving somebody my email. And it was like YouTube, hit that subscribe button was next, Instagram, follow, and then that was it. Then we got TikTok, which I am still of the mind that without the pandemic, TikTok would not have made it. Just like so many people have tried to make the fourth social network and nobody has been able to do it. Well, the fifth, because Twitter's its own thing. So nobody's been able to do it. I think because of the pandemic, that's the only reason why it took off. But it like TikTokified everything. So now it's like a piece of content, follow, which then carried over to Instagram, carried over to YouTube, to where you're subscribed to like 1,000 channels now. You're following 60,000 people. It's like, what is this? And so then they changed the feed where it's not even people you follow anymore. It's just stuff you're searching. So everything is like your web browser. And so it's different now. It's all social search. It's not even, I follow these people, show me the feed that I've curated. No, it's the feed you've curated in the last week Whatever you've been searching for in the last week is now what you're going to see, regardless of the years you spent designing a feed full of the things you enjoy. So it's a mess. It's a mess.
I love that you're admitting what we all pretty much are aware of, but don't know how to really spell out in terms of, oh my God, now what am I supposed to do in strategy? I have always been remiss to do paid posts, let alone like just speaking specifically on Instagram to say, okay, to promote a post.
Right.
When I teach my class, I always say advertising's a dirty word, right? Because you need to make sure every penny you spend, even though pennies probably carry more weight now, has a return on investment. And now paid posts, like they give you three options. Do you want it to follow? Are you leading to sales? Are you leading to following? Or are you leading to likes? How is someone from an independent designer perspective, let alone a regular handbag brand, how are we supposed to navigate that to our benefit of how do we get our message out there? Marketing, less so advertising.
So I think now, as much as the TikTokification of it has made it a mess, it has created an opportunity specifically for the group you're talking about, which are people who are experts, who are producing something, who are working, but otherwise their day to day is boring. It's like making a mood board, looking at samples, typing something up. It's not, swinging on some swing in Bali or like doing this thing with the pigs. It's like, it's not what social used to be. But because of this short form video, because of this like real push and like, what are you searching? Most of us are very boring in terms of our
So
search.
boring.
And
So
so
boring.
you see the rise, like the day in the life is crushing it. And it's all those people who are just doing like a quick 30-second video before they start their day. The people who are like, come with me to work. And it's like, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I go to the gym, I come back, I have breakfast, I get dressed, I get on the train. It's like, this is the most boring day. And yet I will watch 90 seconds of it. I'm watching you go to work, watching you sit at your desk. They're like, time for lunch. They do something after work. They come home, they go to bed. And like, I'm watching that. And these people have 10,000, 20, they're growing. Some of them, they started maybe 6 months ago. They've got 100,000 followers because I think we are past the production point. That was really sexy for a long time because only influencers could create that sort of content. Now everyone can. So since we are in the literally everyone is famous for 15-minute era, people just want to see lives that are a little different than theirs. So like if you're a designer, people want to see you wake up, go to the flea market for inspiration, come home, look at like 26 different types of leather. Like they want to see that. And it's just interesting to see like, if you have this job, like, what do you do all day? And I think even though some of
think
it's
people
mundane,
don't do very much.
but they don't. But I think that's comforting too, because I think in a way, when people see that it mirrors their own life, but you're someone they enjoy watching, it makes them feel better about their day to day. Like, oh, I think you're pretty cool and your day to day looks similar to mine. So maybe I'm pretty cool too. And I think that's where we're at. We're more in this like peer-to-peer, show me what you're actually doing era. And so all of these people who would say like, I'm making content because I have to make content. Well, now you can just film your day. And that is not only good enough, it's a preferred format for a lot of people. So I would say if you have a boring day, this is your time. Get out there, shoot that content, post it, because this is probably like a nice wave you can get on, capitalize on it, and then just write it however long you can.
Do you think people are doing their editing directly on Instagram or are they using CapCut? What do you think makes the most sense?
I think so many people are just doing it on Instagram. They're not even doing all of that because they're not content creators. They have an actual job. And so I think when you look at for some people, like creating content is their love language. So they will sit down and produce and do the photos and the videos and the editing and the songs. Some people will do all of that because they enjoy it. But a lot of people are just shooting little pieces of content, putting it in. Also, there's so much AI now where you can just upload every video and go make a day in the life and it'll just cut the best parts, flip it into a reel for you and you just post it. And the whole process will take you 5 minutes. So it's so different now. You don't have to storyboard it, shoot it, do all of this stuff unless you want to be a content creator. If you're just sharing your day, just make sure you do little clips throughout the day, throw it in some program, it'll spit out a reel, post it, and move on with your life.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny and crazy. I'd never even thought about uploading the videos to AI and say, put this, make this look better, mishmash, pull the best parts. That's actually genius because, like, what else is it for? It's
Yes.
no, I mean, people push back on it. And my students, now in our syllabi, we have to put, there's an AI component we need to add. Like, how do you feel about AI? And I say, great, amazing, go for it. It's there as a tool, use it. But much like a screwdriver was replaced with a drill, you still need someone to hold it. So if you are not proofreading it, then you get double taxed, right? Then you get the double penalty. So, like you don't get to swing and miss, like you get swing and send home. So,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
that simple. So if you're going to take a shortcut, great. But if you're not going to do the work to proof it, then you're wasting both of our time.
Yes.
So no.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I
it's like
think
it can enhance the skills, but just like you could use a dishwasher every day, but like you probably should know how to manually wash dishes. So like it's basics. You still need the basics, but like can you do something faster? Can you let it
I'm
help
here
you
for
do
it.
something better than you could do it? Yes. And so, it is that fine line, but I think when you think about AI, so many people throw out the baby with bathwater because they're not even thinking of all the ways it could help, especially people who are like solopreneurs. Like if you're a founder team, you constantly have someone you can talk to and wake up and be like, hey, I just have this idea. Is this crazy? If you're a solopreneur, you don't have that. Maybe you're in a community where you're paying for that, or maybe you have a friend who like doesn't hate that you bother them about it. But like AI, you can wake up your AI at 2 a.m. and go, I have a crazy idea. And it will be like, oh my gosh, tell me, what is it? And
I
then it's
know.
great because you can wake up, give it the idea, go back to sleep and not be like, oh, I got to hold on to this idea in the morning or I'm going to forget. Or you can just then, if you work on something and you hit a dead end, and let's say a year from now, you start going down that same path, your AI remembers things you don't and will say, hi, we were doing this already. How is this different than the last time? And you will have to either know or go, oh shit, I totally forgot. I already did this. Okay, scratch that. Let's do something else. So it's great for bouncing things off of. It's great for remembering things you just are not going to remember. All of that stuff is important. So I'm team use it. Don't lose your actual skills. Like I will never lose my ability to write. But man, if I don't use it for literally everything else, but making sure a piece sounds like me.
Yeah. Why? Are you actually recording your audio in it so it does the audio for it too to match your
Oh,
voice?
I talk to AI more than I talk to everybody in my family combined. So I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I have trained it so well. It can write an entire draft for me and I will have no notes because I talk so much. So it has figured out all my little nuances, all of these things. And I'm just like, I've only had it for 9 months. I'm like, in 5 years, it will literally be able to walk around and be me. Not even 5 years. It goes so fast. It's like in 6 months, it'll be able to be me and no one will detect it. And
Are
I'm
you
like,
using ChatGPT?
I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use Gemini. I use them all for different things, just like you use
Right.
YouTube for one thing, TikTok for something else, Instagram for something else. My ChatGPT, her name is Celine. And she's like my idea partner. She's batshit crazy. She says all sorts of off the wall stuff. But she's really good to like push me and make me get like excited about something. Claude I use where I'm like, okay, we have this great idea. Obviously it's chaotic. Make this make sense. He's my like executive presence friend. So he'll like make it LinkedIn friendly or like make it so I can send it to somebody important. And then Gemini, I just started training my Gemini to be more like a mix of both. So I use them for different things, but the amount personal, professional, this
Oh, it's
speed,
terrifying.
but
It's
the
terrifying.
speed you can move at, stuff that would have taken us a year to do, we can get done in 3 months, maybe a month if you really push it. And like, how much more could we do? Like, it's
Do
very
you know,
exciting.
it's funny because I was on a panel and I was a guest speaker for something, and someone was asking me about AI and design. And I use the same reference. Like, you still need someone to hold the drill. Like, it's great to say, take this, make it better, use that, but it will still potentially have seven fingers and two toes. So you need to still be there to, you know, it's great to have someone help you with the clay, help you with the drawing, help you with the basics that would usually take you so much more time just to set up. But I think technology is there to be used. I'm not worried about Megan with the funny letter to come get me. And if she does, I will have her go to Trader Joe's for me while she's at it. I'm like, if you're coming, like, stop by. I'll give you a food list. There's no Wi-Fi where mine is. You'll have to get back to me after. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you believe this relationship of quote unquote being an influencer versus being a micro influencer? Where do you think that stands? And then founders, because I mean, it's
These things
so
are
much.
these are semantics. I am of the firm belief an influencer is an influencer is an influencer. This whole like micro, nano, all of these terms were designed by people who made platforms and needed to make money. I remember when micro influencer became a thing. It was by a certain woman who was the CEO of a certain platform. And what was their specialty? Micro influencers, because they couldn't compete with everyone else because they didn't have that kind of pull. And so they went and then made this term, and we're the only ones who have micro influencers, and like made it a thing. And I'm like, it just means you have a smaller following. And like you have a smaller following today, but a year from now you won't. So like if your identity is so wrapped up in being a micro influencer, what happens when you're a macro influencer? And so it's the whole thing is weird. It's like there's content creators and then there are influencers. Every influencer is a content creator, but every content creator is not an influencer. It's like some people make content to entertain people, to showcase their work, to do self promotion. Other people are trying to make you buy shit from brands. Those are influencers. Comment for the link, shop the link in bio, go to my Amazon storefront, affiliate, brand partnership, come to this event at this salon. Like those are influencers. Anyone who's like, read my newsletter, buy my book, my coaching session, those are creators. You can do both, but they are not the same. And then you've got like creators who just make content and don't even have to post it, because I know a ton of CGC creators. They make content for brands. They give it to them. They don't even have an Instagram. They're just one person agencies or one person creative agencies. So it's like we're all in the creator economy at this point, but an influencer is a very specific thing. And I think people who hate on influencers usually tend to be people who don't have any influence. Because if you were
That
influential in your own right, you wouldn't be so mad at fellow influential people. That's how I look at it.
if you ever wanted to start a handbag line and didn't know where to start, this is for you.
Living proof that independent designers can make it big.
Emily Blumenthal is one prime example.
If you had dreams of becoming a handbag designer and didn't know where to start, this is for you. If you have a handbag brand and are in need of strategy and direction, this is for you. I'm Emily Blumenthal, handbag fairy godmother and handbag designer expert, and this is Handbag Designer 101, the masterclass. Over the next 10 classes, I will break down everything you need to know how to make, market, and manufacture a handbag. Broken down for you that you'll not only skip steps in that handbag building process, but also save money in that learning curve. For the past 20 years, I've been teaching at the top fashion universities in New York City, created the Handbag Awards, and also the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. I'm going to show you like I have countless brands from sketch to sample to shelf, whether you're just starting out and don't know where to begin, or even if you have a handbag line and just need some strategic direction, the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass is just for you. So let's get started, and you will be the creator of the next it bag. Join me, Emily Blumenthal, with the Handbag Designer 101 Masterclass. You know, I so appreciate that. I actually was talking to someone recently, a handbag designer who only does her promoting on Facebook. because she said that's where her audience hangs. And I said, is that because you can't deal with TikTok? And she's like, yeah, basically. So, in terms of understanding your demographic, because like that is one of the hugest things, like you can't be everything to everyone, but yet you're on a platform that is seen by everyone. How do you handle that in terms of a content strategy for a particular product? Because there is, I speak a lot about making sure you do a competitive analysis and understanding and getting a SWOT down because you need to know your SWOT. And the only way you can do that is by understanding your competition so you can extrapolate what their strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats are so you can find out where you've got space to fill in those blanks, let alone, okay, they're doing this, I need to do this better, because you need to be the fastest, the first, or the best if you're trying to push your brand. How do you say, okay, I need to create a content strategy. What am I supposed to do beyond going to, Celine and tapping into everything she has to offer? Because I know she knows things that I'd like to know too.
So I would say my answer has changed. I would have agreed with you before on a content strategy and like picking the platform and doing the competitive analysis. I actually think that matters less now because I think the only thing that matters is, are you on a platform where you care to show up? Because stuff is so cross-pollinated at this point. Stuff that's on TikTok makes its way to YouTube, whether you're on YouTube or not. And so because people will just record it, they'll remix it, they'll post it, they'll save it to their phone and then upload it somewhere else. Stuff just moves. It has nothing to do with the originator anymore. So I think if you're like, look, I don't love TikTok, then don't go on TikTok because what's going to happen? You're going to have a mediocre presence on TikTok. Now you look mediocre. If video is like, you guys are like designers. So like you've got to love photo and video to some extent. But it could be that there is where, maybe it's like other people are creating content for you and you just post that. But what you really love to do is like write long essays about the diary of a founder. Then go on LinkedIn, write those things, turn them into shorter things, put it on Threads, put it on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it, put it places that are mostly text. And like, let it live there because there's no one on LinkedIn who isn't also on Instagram. That's just not a thing. All those people are there too. And what's going to happen? They're going to take a screenshot of something you wrote. They're going to put it in the story. And now people are going to wonder who you are and how they can find you. So I think it's less about being where everyone is. Yes, you need to like claim your handle. You want to have, a URL. You want to have basic things. So if someone looks for you on that channel, you're not non-existent. But I don't think you need to necessarily make a strategy for every channel, especially if you are not an avid consumer of that content, because you're not even going to do it right. So even if you are like, I need to be on TikTok, if you don't constantly log on to TikTok and see what works there, the content you make is not even going to resonate on TikTok. So like, why even bother? A better thing to do would be, if you can, to like have other people who love TikTok make TikTok content for you. And so that is and they don't even have to be influencers. You could just have friends who love TikTok and invite them to come look at your new bag and make videos and like to say, and when you're done with that, just give it to me and then put that on your TikTok. Like we're so past it needs to be like insanely produced. It just needs to be the vibe of the platform. And if you don't love the platform, you're not going to know the vibe. And so anything you do is a waste of time and you could have been doing something else. So just ask your friend who likes Facebook, ask your friend who likes YouTube, your friend who likes TikTok. Hey, come and make something quick for me because I got to put something up. Let them make it for you, put it up there and focus on like where you actually can and want to show up, because that will outperform everything because you actually care about it. And so you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to have a presence. But an active presence? No, not really. Not anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, although I don't even follow that advice purely as a result of having a podcast. So no, and it's funny because I feel like, at least specifically with my Instagram, I feel like I don't want to choke people with mini clips, whereas on TikTok, I won't go on and then I'll upload 50 mini clips and then walk away. Better
you
or
can
worse.
do that on Instagram now, though, too.
Right.
It's the same. It's not like it used to be where, like, if somebody you knew uploaded 50 clips, you'd see all 50 of them. I know people who post all day, every day. I don't see any of their stuff. I haven't seen any. This one influencer I love, I'm like, who is that in your picture? I'm like, did you have a baby? Is your baby turning one? Hold on. I haven't seen your content for 2 years.
Right.
What? It's like, so that's
Right.
really where we're at. It's because I don't have a baby anymore. So I'm not really looking for baby content. So if all her content is baby facing and baby led, she's not going to come down my feed. And so it used to also be that like you'd see something on the feed and then you'd go to the profile. So we needed it to be like aesthetically pleasing and the grid. And I have too many of these things in a row. When was the last time you went to somebody's profile? Nobody's going to your profile.
No, my grid is it's my brain at this point. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, here's this, and oh yeah, here's that.
Yeah.
It's
I
funny.
look at Issa Rae is a great example. I have to double check because I don't even, to be honest, I like barely use Instagram now. Like I don't think I've posted in like 6 months because I can't. I don't care. But she's a great example. I think her grid, she had a very long period of time where she had 9 things on her grid. That was it. And she did stories. She did reels if she wanted to, but it's like, here are the 9 things I want you to know about me. That's it. If you come here, I want you to know that I have this show, this production company. Here's the latest cover I've been on. Here's my movie that's coming out. It's just, here are the 9 things you need to know. And really, if you're a designer, that's what people need. What are your latest, who are you? What do you stand for? What are your latest projects? Where can I get your stuff? A few other things you need me to know. That's it. This whole like creating content every day, unless you're like a beauty influencer or fashion or food who's got to give me the latest and greatest all the time, your Instagram really can just serve as like your portfolio of like, you wouldn't have a media deck that's got 900 pages. It's got 5, maybe 10 if you're pushing a ton of stuff to just be like, here's all you need to know. I would say if you don't love content like that, then it's the same thing. So at least if somebody else sees your bag or like sees you or you're at an event and they make content and they tag you, I can go there, see the 9 most important things, and then decide if I want to do something else. But then you actually can take care in those 9 things, make them the best they can be, and get me to do the thing you want me to do, which is probably to go to your website or sign up for your newsletter or whatever it is, as opposed to like churning out mediocre content 85% of the time. And now somebody tags you, I go to your feed and I'm like, ew, who is this person? So it's better to have 9 killer things and then just do stories than like churn out content. And it's bad because it reflects poorly on you. And that's not even your main gig. You're a designer. You're not a social media content creator. So like that should not be majority of where you spend like your time or effort. It just shouldn't be.
What do you think about the fact that I know for models now, for them to get picked up, they need to have a strong following. For authors to get picked up, they need to have a strong following.
Comedian, Broadway actor. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
But it's brands with fans, and
yeah,
designers are no different, right? So I've heard buyers say, well, we're checking your following, we're checking your traction, what are your sales, and everything is all kind of looped together. So it's, Issa Rae can get away with 9 things on her platform. I don't think the average person can.
I think you need to pick, but that's why I said on your feed. Then if you've got to have things that make you grow, because the things you post static to your feed don't make you grow. Making a ton of reels is what makes you grow. That's why I said the first order of business is, can you just do really simple day in the life, clip it together? So you've got the 9 things on your feed, but if you tap over into reels, now you've got a ton of day in the lives, because that's what.
Reels are posts, though.
Yeah. But I think
so. Then that's stories.
But you can hide them. You can keep reels on the reels tab. They don't actually have to show up the first thing. You can make it so that people have to click into it, and then it doesn't have to be so gorgeous. But I think it's more like, I would say you need like 9 pieces of like polished content, and then the rest can just be like, look at me going off to do these things. And I think too, it's a little different now, because if somebody's going to buy something from you, they want to know who you are. And so I think it's less about all my content has to be about me as a designer, and more that like I want to know who you are as a person. Like people who I buy stuff from, I'm more likely, all things considered, to buy a product from a mom than a non-mom, just because I'm like, oh, she's mom, let me help her out, you know? And so I think there's a lot of that too, where it's like, yes. And you had said before, like the influencer founder, like so many of them, yes, they are constantly pushing, you know, they're trying to sell their product to their audience, but at the same time, they're just being a person, because if people want to root for you, they're happy to buy your thing because that's what will make you successful. I think I own 3 pairs, like 3 different fake eyelashes, like falsies. I don't even wear them, but I like the person who was selling them and I want them to succeed. So I bought them. I'm just like, let me give you a thing. But it's just because I like you. Now, if all your content was about these eyelashes, that doesn't give me a reason to support you, especially if I'm not a target demo. So I think the stories, even if you make like a fun little reel about how you went and picked out a Christmas tree, like everything doesn't have to be about the fact that you're a designer. Maybe those 9 pieces are, but then when you've got reels on the reels tab or stories, you're just like being a person. And like that's
Do you think
why
stories carry that much weight versus reels?
I think no, because stories are for people who are already following you. I think Instagram has made that very clear. Like that's the only person who's ever going to see your stories, if even those people. I have 25,000 followers, and if I post a story, 135 people see it. I'm like, what? So like, if you need to grow because you've got that hanging over your head that you need X amount before we'll talk to you, then the fastest way to do it is to just do the day in the life. And when you look at a lot of these day in the lives, there is an efficient way to do it, which is just you make a bank of clips. So let's say you have one day to yourself, walk in and out of your elevator 6 times, go get coffee more than once, like just, and then you just have all those clips, and then every day just remix them. I'm not going to realize that this is the same hand that got coffee in your Thursday video. Nobody cares. And when you look at the influencers who do that the best, if you study them, which I will sit and watch all of their content, you'll see that they all have about 100 clips and they just repeat them. They just get mixed and matched into new reels because even they don't have time to make all this content, and they're full-time content creators. So it is a lot of that. 4 different clips of you filling up make 4 different cups of coffee at your house with different mugs. Now, great. You can just cycle through those, you know?
That is so clever.
It's about just being strategic. That's it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have even, you know what? You get so sucked in to what you're doing that you don't even realize that, like, wait a second, I could probably do that too. And it's funny when you're someone who's an expert, it's like, I've had publicists, I've been through this rotation, and they've all said, oh, you need to show more about your life. You need to show more about your life. And I'm like, I've been very reluctant. I never wanted to put my kids on. I don't think my kids were interested. I had an opportunity to have my own TV show a couple times. And I had someone who was trying to get me to be the next Bethany for handbags, which is kind of comical. And I said, God bless her. She's a powerhouse, but she will be very rich and very divorced. I don't think anybody's marriage can handle and
that level.
You know, no, nobody. No, I, my hat is off to her for what she's been through. But I knew, you know what goes on behind the scenes in your home.
Yeah, that's why it can be super boring. Of here's me filling up a cup of coffee. Here's me taking a selfie in the elevator. Here's me tapping, here's me like going through the turnstile for the train station. Like that's what so much of this stuff is. Plenty of these people, they have kids, they have significant others. A bunch of them I know live with their parents. You never see these people because it's not about them, and like you can choose your reality. And I think when we see people who are like so real, we think we have to match their realness. You don't. You choose what level of reality you want people to have access to. Like, I live in New York. I have 2 kids. It is hella expensive here. There are plenty of things I do that are not glamorous. Like, I go to the laundromat. Are you going to get that in my stories? No, but you are going to get this photo of my kids on a carousel in Paris. Yes. Because that is the reality I'm going to put out there. If you know me in real life, you'll see me at the laundromat. But like my real life is for my real friends. And like people who don't actually know me you get this fake version. And it's not even fake because it's real. It's just incomplete. So the better you know me, the more of a complete picture you have of who I am. And I think everybody can operate with that. Your spouse knows things about you that nobody else knows. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Some random person on the internet should not know the intricate workings of your marriage because you're always talking about it. That is weird. You don't need that. So it's like the further people are from you and like people on the internet as far away as you can get, because they're even worse than strangers because they're strangers who think they know you, which is really weird.
Oh, yeah,
You
it
don't, you don't owe them anything but entertainment. And so I think if you're a model, yes, here's me going to the gym and getting a smoothie and on my way to a shoot. Here is not me crying because I didn't get called back or, crying because someone told me I'm too fat and these women are not fat at all. It's like, they're not going to give you that. And they don't owe us that. We just get the sexy part. And to be honest, if I want to see people cry, like that's what community is for. I have friends who I have to deal with their bullshit. I don't want to be watching a stranger cry on the internet. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I got to save that for people I know in real life. You and your problems, like, don't you have friends? Like, why are you crying to us on the internet?
No.
Stop that right now.
No, hashtag not what I asked for. I'm not here for that. No, I saw, this is not that. And that's what I'm here to say. Brittany Hennessy, thank you so much for just sharing the nuggets of gold. As always, I could monosation with you forever till the sun goes up and down. How can we find you, follow you, see your words of wisdom on LinkedIn? Because I hang out there too.
Yes, follow me on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm on Instagram. I'm not going to lie, I'll probably make a return because for my birthday, all I really want is Meta Ray-Bans. And if I get Meta Ray-Bans, I will be insufferable on Instagram. I'll just be like, Meta, record this, Meta, record that. And I think the app it comes with like will make a reel for you. Oh, so I will let you know if that hack ends up working because then you can add it to your show notes of like, hey, hack, just get these glasses, record random moments of your day. It'll spit out a reel. So if that is true, I can't experiment and then you'll know. But I'm on LinkedIn all the time, on Instagram sporadically, and I repost really funny stuff on TikTok. But like I don't actually make content there because with what time? No way.
Oh my God. And it's Brittany with 2 T's and Hennessy with 2 N's just for fun.
Correct. Yes.
She's
not like
double.
Although I love her.
Yeah. Well, I love you more. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Emily.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review and follow us on every single platform at Handbag Designer. Thanks so much. See you next time.